Hey everyone, today on the episode we're going to be talking about Section 8, investing in real estate and tenants on Section 8 voucher, how to properly go about it and everything. Today I have Arthur with me. Arthur, how you doing? How you doing?
Good,
so
good.
You're a little
Thank
bit
you.
knowledgeable on Section 8.
Yes.
So first of all, it's like a lot of people have misconceptions and a lot of people are afraid and they don't know what to be afraid of, but so let's break some myths and why is Section 8 and tell us a little bit about.
So everybody is afraid of Section 8 because they think it's like bad people or people that have some kind of problem, but it's not. It's just people that cannot pay the rent or don't have housing. So there is the HUD that supplies them help. They call it not Section 8, they call it voucher.
Yeah.
So most of those people to get a Section 8 or a voucher, they sit in line between 8 to whatever years. Right now,
Wow.
it's 8 years to be in the
And to apply, is there like specific criterias?
minimum wage or less, have certain amount of kids that you have.
But you have to have kids. You can't be
No,
single.
no, you can be single. You
Okay.
can, but it's just helping.
It's helping. The more kids, then it's easier to get approval
Yeah.
for a Section 8 voucher.
Exactly.
And the voucher, and you get through the process, you get approved as a person first.
You cannot like be any criminal record. You
Okay.
cannot use drugs. You'll pretty much you need to be having a clean slate.
And then you have to pick a property that qualifies
You
for program.
So it's not you pick up a property. How I do it for my clients and the apartment that I'm helping to rent out to Section 8. What I do is I look at which area paying the most for Section 8. For example,
How do you know that?
you can go to HUD and then they specify the payouts. So you put the zip code and you can see how much they pay. For example, one of the properties that I manage, it's a 4-bedroom apartment, and 4-bedroom apartment, it's per bedroom as well. So in Evanston, and I look up the zip code, it's 60201, and I can see 1-bedroom pays 1,000, 2-bedroom pays 2,000, and 4-bedroom pays 3,500. And this is how I choose to pretty much invest for my clients. So I find the properties there and I send it to my clients and they choose which properties they like, all of that. And then what I do, I put it on Zillow and I got a call on Zillow or MLS and they're like, do you accept voucher? And obviously we cannot discriminate.
Right.
So I always say yes. And actually for
Yeah.
me, it's better to accept them because the money comes from the government.
100% of the payment?
No. So depends on your of your income. So sometimes it's income. Depends on the income. 30%, 10%, 20%, 10%, and
Oh, so based on how much money you make, that's how much
Yes.
they're gonna cover off the rent, or is it
of the rent
amount?
of the
And
rent.
then dictate how much you can rent as a tenant. Do they dictate,
no,
or
they
you
don't-
can choose whatever you want?
So I usually take the maximum.
No, not you as a tenant.
No, they cannot choose whatever they want. So for example, my current tenant,
Yeah.
4 bedrooms, 3,500. Their portion is $150. So the rest I get.
But
from
they
the
could have gone with the 3-bedroom.
But they have a voucher for 4 bedrooms. So why will they
I
will
got you.
get
Yeah,
for
gotcha.
3 bedrooms?
Okay, so they pretty much qualify you. Oh, you are good up to 3-4
Yeah.
bedroom, and
Yeah.
that's how it works. Okay.
They don't get a voucher as well if they have eviction. So you don't need to worry about it. That it's very important for people that rent out properties because
If you had an eviction in the history, you won't be able to apply.
you will not get
Okay.
a voucher.
The price for you would say it's higher than the market.
Yes, usually it's a higher. What the Section 8 pays, I tell them, listen, sometimes I include utilities as well. So sometimes, for example, in one of the buildings, most of the buildings that include coin laundry. I just put regular laundry and I separate between the tenants which dates they can use. So one tenant is
Got it.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the other one other days, and I tell them you can $65 a month to use that instead of the coins.
Oh, I got you. Oh, okay.
So I get from the coins, you don't make as much. But because they are Section 8 and the higher, I'm saying, okay, will be included with them. So
That's pretty cool. I never heard of that. You know, that's pretty cool. And then there's inspection. You got
yes,
through.
somebody apply, you accepted it. Now the inspection comes. The inspection comes to check safety, to protect not the rental, to protect the owner, because it's all safety. So for example, if the windows don't stay up when you open it up and down, so will be a violation.
Of course.
So they will ask you to fix it. And windows, water cannot be too hot as well. So they check that. They check that everything is, all the outlets works, no peeling paint.
It's like a big process, big inspection?
No, it's not a big. It takes an hour. There is
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 5 minutes.
No. They
it's an
come,
hour.
they walk around, they check everything, that everything is no peeling paint, that everything that it looks legit.
And then you get it every year?
Yes.
But you have to pay for it as a landlord?
No, nothing.
You don't pay?
I don't
it's
pay.
Covered.
Even if it's failed, you don't pay for it. You have 3 to 4 times inspection. After 4 times, you cannot
so pretty much the income is guaranteed?
Guarantee. 100%.
Is there like eviction situations?
So there is, for example.
But why? It's there's always a payment.
Why?
There's always a payment. Oh, maybe they're trashing the property, or they're doing illegal stuff.
So illegal stuff. Let's say I put on the lists for my client, they cannot smoke inside their house.
Yeah.
And let's say he calls me and say, hey, something broken, and I'm like, come there, and I smell smoke.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, you're smoking in the house.
Yeah.
Stop it. You tell them 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. No. For example, one time they took the smoke alarm out. So I was like, okay, why do you take the smoke alarm out? Because they are smoking. If the tenant is good, so let's say they pay you $3,500, not $3,350. This is the government paid you, and their portion is $150, and they're not paying you that, and you tell the HUD that they are not paying, they're gonna get evicted because they owe you money. But if you have a good tenant that listens to you and work with you, you're not gonna report because you already getting the money above market. Usually it's between 10 to 15% more than the market. For example, that in Evanston, this apartment is about, I will say, $2,500 a month. But my client gets $1,000 more.
Right.
So even they trash your place, you 1,000 multiplied by 12, it's $12,000. $12,000
to rehab it back.
Rehab it back, but you don't rehab it for 12,000. You rehab it for a little bit less, you know.
So let me ask you this. In terms of, for example, how long would the tenants typically live in those properties?
This is an amazing question because usually a lot of landlords will not accept Section 8. So those people have a hard time to find rent. Not only that, inflation, prices go up, the rent is go up. So you're already at the high and you go a little bit higher. And usually they stay between 3 to 5 years at the property. So you already, let's say $1,000 more than market price, 12,000 multiplied by 3, you already 36,000 more.
A lot of benefits.
A lot of benefits, but for
is there websites, for example? Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Is there websites, for example, if a voucher tenant moves out, the HUD steps in and says, you know what, we have somebody else lined up, or no? There is. You can go on the HUD and say, and to see how many people waiting in line in this area. Oh, you can do that.
You can do that. Not only that, my client just got an email from the city of Evanston and saying that there is X amount of people that were waiting for Section 8. So if you have anything vacant, please reach out to us. A lot of times it's big families with a lot of kids. It's another thing, even we cannot discriminate against kids.
Yeah.
But some landlords, it's illegal, but saying we don't want a lot of kids or pets or something like that.
The more people, the more wear and tear, the more repairs will need to be done. So usually that's what you're going to see.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's a lot of, that could be maybe one downside.
Yeah.
but most likely everything else seems like an upside for a landlord to rent to a voucher program.
I think this is what I use those programs. What I like is the steady
Guaranteed
guarantee
income.
income
Yeah.
that I don't need to. I don't because there's other properties that I manage and they're like, oh, this guy didn't pay me. I don't need that, and now I need to go tell him you didn't pay. It's like I can do only half this month and in the end of the month another half. I don't need this headache.
Yeah.
And the properties that my clients buy, it's another thing that good is that we buy them low, fixing them, and we already have appreciation in that. So plus when you put a tenant in, it's another increase in your value of the property.
All right. Thanks so much, Arthur, for today's episode. I hope our listeners learned about the Section 8 a little bit. If anybody has any questions, let us know. If anybody wants help from Arthur as a real estate broker, reach out to Arthur. How they? I mean, you're all over the social, but
Yeah.
How do they find you?
Alpha Balkan and Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
Thanks, Arthur. See you next time.